Some places are born with darkness. Hollow Creek is one such place. A town with a grim history where people speak in whispers about the things that go bump in the night. This story is about a family who moved into a house that many thought should have remained abandoned forever. What they discovered inside changed their lives forever. Today, you will hear the terrifying truth. The town of Hollow Creek was known for its beauty. Tall pine trees, wide open skies, and scenic mountain views. But despite the picturesque setting, it held a dark secret. There was an old house at the edge of town that had been left empty for decades. Most people said the place was cursed. Anyone who stayed there either disappeared or went insane. The locals avoided the place, believing it was haunted by the spirits of those who had died there long ago. In 2017, the Rogers family, John, his wife Laura, and their 2 children, Emily and Max, moved into that very house. They had gotten it for a steal, unaware of its eerie past. To them, it was just a beautiful, spacious home surrounded by nature. Perfect for a fresh start. They weren't from Hollow Creek, so they didn't know the stories. As they unpacked and settled into their new home, nothing seemed out of the ordinary at first. It was an old house, creaky in places, but it was Halloween night. The town was quiet, and the Rogers family was watching movies, eating popcorn, and laughing as the kids ran around in their costumes. It was a perfect family evening. Around 10 p.m., the children went to bed. John and Laura stayed up for a bit longer, chatting in the living room. That's when they first heard it, a faint sound, like whispering, coming from upstairs. Thinking it was the kids still awake, John went to check on them. He found both Emily and Max sound asleep. Yet, the whispering continued. He searched the hallway, the other rooms, but found nothing. "I didn't see anything," John told Laura as he returned downstairs, but his face had turned pale. There was something about the sound that unnerved him. The rest of the night was uneventful, but from that night onward, small, unexplainable things began to happen. Emily complained of strange dreams where a woman dressed in black would stand at the foot of her bed, watching her. Max said he kept hearing scratching noises in the walls at night. The family tried to brush it off as their imaginations or the house settling, but deep down, they felt something was wrong. A week later, Laura had a strange experience of her own. She was cleaning the upstairs bathroom when she noticed something in the mirror. At first, just a blur behind her. Thinking it was one of the kids, she turned around, but no one was there. When she looked back into the mirror, she saw it clearly. A woman's reflection, standing right behind her, dressed in an old-fashioned black gown, her face pale and eyes hollow. Laura screamed, dropping the cloth in her hand, but when she turned, the woman was gone. John ran upstairs. "What happened?" "There was someone in the mirror," Laura stammered, trembling. John searched the house, but found nothing. They tried to rationalize the experience. Maybe it was just stress from the move, or a trick of the light. But Laura knew what she had seen. That night, the family's peaceful new life began to crumble. From that point, the haunting escalated. Doors slammed shut on their own, lights flickered, and objects moved without explanation. John tried to remain logical, telling himself it was all in their heads, but Laura and the children were terrified. Emily refused to sleep alone, claiming the woman in black visited her every night, whispering things she couldn't understand. Max, the youngest, started talking to someone no one else could see. "She says the house was hers," he told his parents one night, his small voice filled with eerie calmness. "Who, Max?" Laura asked, fearing the answer. "The lady in the walls." John and Laura's nerves were stretched thin. They contacted a local historian, hoping to find some explanation for the bizarre occurrences. What they learned shocked them. The historian revealed that the house once belonged to a woman named Margaret Thatcher, who had lived there in the late 1800s. She was known in town as a recluse, and it was said that she had lost her mind after her children died of illness. In her grief, she became obsessed with the idea of bringing them back. She performed strange rituals in the house, and many believed she was involved in dark, occult practices. One night, she disappeared without a trace. Her body was never found, and the house was abandoned for years after. It's said that her spirit never left, the historian told them. John didn't want to believe it, but Laura knew in her heart that Margaret's spirit was still in the house. They decided to move, but it was too late. On the night before they were set to leave, the house unleashed its full fury. The whispering turned into screams. The walls seemed to pulse, as if alive. Doors slammed violently, and windows shattered without cause. Emily screamed, "She's coming for us!" John tried to get the family out of the house, but the front door wouldn't budge. It was as if the house was trapping them inside. They ran upstairs, trying to escape through the bedroom window. But the figure of the woman in black appeared again, standing at the top of the stairs, blocking their way. Her hollow eyes stared at them, her mouth opening in a silent scream. The air turned icy, and the family felt a crushing weight on their chests, as if the very house was suffocating them. Just when it seemed like all hope was lost, a loud crash came from downstairs. The front door burst open on its own, and they seized the chance to escape. They ran out of the house, never looking. The Rogers family left Hollow Creek the next day, leaving behind everything they owned. The house was boarded up once more, but the locals whispered that the spirits inside were still restless. Emily and Max never fully recovered from their experiences in that house. They were plagued by nightmares for years. John and Laura tried to rebuild their lives, but they could never shake the feeling that something had followed them from Hollow Creek. The house, they believed, had not let them go completely. Thank you for watching this episode from Velours of the Past. If you enjoyed this journey into mystery and intrigue, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Make sure to turn on the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when our next tale from the past goes live.